Alright, hello everyone. I honestly have no idea if the volume worked on that clip that I just played. So if it didn't work in the intro, I apologize. I thought it was playing, and I don't know if I actually saw the volume bar going up or down or not. Hello and welcome to the weekly preview. The camera is too low. Actually, it's too high. That's better. Welcome to the weekly preview. I'm Darkside Phil. Today is Sunday, April 23rd, 2017. We got a great week ahead. In fact, it's going to be a very strong end to the month of April this year, which is good. We've got new releases this week, new episodic releases this week. I'm finishing up stuff this week. There's going to be reviews. There's going to be a wide variety of content for you on my channel, so I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to go through all that in a moment. First off, being that it is only 7 days left till the end of the month, a couple quick things I want to run through. First of all, Patreon. It is your last chance, the final week, to pledge to my Patreon for the month of April. Not only do your pledges directly support me and allow me to continue to do this as a job, but you will be contributing to the next Patron's Choice playthrough. If you pledge $5 or more the next week, you'll be able to nominate and vote on the game that I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of come the summer when things start to slow down a little bit. It ends up taking about a month to actually get everyone upgraded and then have them nominate and then vote on their nominations anyway. So more than likely, whatever wins this Patron's Choice playthrough event is going to be starting around maybe June-ish, we'll say. Keep in mind, I still have to play Danganronpa, which I'm going to bring up in this week in preview because it may resume this week, okay? So let's talk, everyone. Let's talk about that. First off, today, I got into the endgame content, the final world of Yooka-Laylee. So I'm very much near the end of the game. In fact, not only did I clear out most of World 5, the final full world in the game, but I got the 100 pages that you need to actually advance to the final boss area of the game. So really, there's nothing holding me up from just beating it. But I'm kind of like halfway through the final world, and there's still 3 or 4 things to do. So I definitely want to check those out before I just rush to the final boss. Because the thing is, unlike Banjo-Kazooie, which is what this game is based off of, you do not have to collect every single collectible in order to get to the end of the game. That's cool. In Banjo-Kazooie, you do. There's a whole world you can't even unlock unless you get every collectible, and you can't really get to the true ending or get all the added things to beat the final boss without getting all those collectibles. You don't need to do that in Yooka-Laylee. In fact, I actually heard you don't even really do anything. You get a trophy, or you unlock a final, like, a tonic that changes the gameplay, but you don't actually get anything good or significant from doing all the collectibles in this game, so there's certainly no reason for me to go back and get every single one, okay? Overall, I have actually enjoyed Yooka-Laylee a lot. There have been some really difficult parts and or some really frustrating parts due to the fact that the game plays very old school. You still got camera issues like you used to have in these games, and some of the things are just gruelingly difficult, but it's a cool throwback feel. It's also not an insanely long game, so it's not like I feel like I've been wrapped up in it for too long and it's overstayed its welcome. I think that wrapping it up tomorrow on stream is going to be perfect. So, speaking of, yes, today I got very far in Yooka-Laylee, and those videos are live and in playlist. We're going to wrap that up tomorrow, okay? So tonight, right now I'm doing the weekly preview. Actually, when I finish filming this, I'm going to get this uploading, and I got 2 or 3 patron videos to make from March patrons who I owe private Q&A videos. So I'll be doing those immediately after. So if you were a patron from March who's owed a private Q&A video and you sent me your questions, within the next day you should be getting the link in your Patreon PMs to check out those videos, okay? So tomorrow, Monday the 24th on stream, I'm going to finish up Yooka-Laylee. However, I don't know how much longer I have. I know there's, like I said, 3 or 4 areas left in this final world to do. And then there's the final tower. Now, I don't know if the final tower is just go right to the final boss and beat the game, or if there's actually, like, puzzles and stuff in the final tower for you to do. So, dependent on that, I guess, and dependent on if I do feel like maybe going back to 1 or 2 of the older stages and doing a few of the things I couldn't do back then because I didn't have all the abilities, you know, we'll see how much longer I have in the game. But the bottom line is I am pretty much going to finish this game on stream for sure, and I'm probably going to have some excess time. What am I going to do with that excess time? Well, since I'm doing a gameplay stream, I don't want to leave everyone who's watching high and dry. So once I beat Yooka-Laylee, I'll probably start talking with the people in the stream chat, having a few discussions or whatever. We'll see what people want to talk about. If they have any questions, maybe do an impromptu Q&A session, which, by the way, I might as well record it for YouTube. Why not? And maybe what I'll do is if I have time and people say, Phil, we really want to see you just play a little bit of this game or that game, one of the games that I have, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. But I don't know what game people would want to see me play because I don't have any fighting games currently. You know, Injustice, Tekken, those are all waiting for their releases in May and June, so nothing to do there. I'm not playing Street Fighter V again. Forget that. That's been deleted off my hard drive forever. I don't know. I don't know what people would want to see me play, so that's the thing. Maybe we'll just shoot the shit for a bit on stream tomorrow after I finish up with Yooka-Laylee, okay? Tomorrow night, I'm going to edit and release my early review / review in progress / impressions, whatever you want to call it, video on Persona 5. Now that I have hit the July 7th in-game date and I'm unable to continue my playthrough because Atlus will not allow me to without the threat of striking me with DMCA claims or stream takedown notices on Twitch, I want to get my thoughts out. So many people asked me for my thoughts on this game as I was playing it, and I tried it on pre-stream or whatever to give my thoughts, but not everyone watches that stuff, so I definitely want to make this video and put it out on KO Gaming tomorrow night. So Monday night, you can find that video on KO Gaming. Check it out, all right? Tuesday is a big day, folks. Big new release day. Outlast 2 is being released. I'm going to be playing it all day. I'm going to have a first stream at 11 a.m. and a second stream at 7 p.m. And it's funny because typically when I play survival horror games, people say, are you going to be using Facecam? We love it when you use Facecam for horror games. I use Facecam for all my major playthroughs now, since my stream changes, since the method of my capturing of gameplay and streaming and interacting with everyone has changed since early March. Therefore, yes, of course, there will be Facecam throughout the entire game. We may even have some surprises, like I may have some special pop-up notifications for this game, just like how I had with Mass Effect Andromeda and Persona 5. I may have pop-up notifications that are just for Outlast 2, which could be pretty cool. But we'll see. Dr. Zombius, I know, is working on those. I don't know if he's going to finish those in time. If he doesn't, it's not a big deal, but we'll see, okay? So, I'm excited. I love survival horror games, as you know. The last one I played was Resident Evil 7. People absolutely loved that playthrough. That was honestly the last big playthrough I did. Like, I've done other games, but really Resident Evil 7, because it was a shorter game. It was a game that was interesting throughout the entire game. High octane, really no downtime in it. People loved that playthrough, and I think that Outlast 2 is going to be another one of those kind of playthroughs. Supernatural shit going on all the time. Big elements of mystery, and, you know, wondering what the hell's going on. And that uncertainty makes it a great playthrough, because, me, you know, my reactions and mystery, you know, my everything of trying to figure out the plot and everything, I think could be pretty cool. So all day Tuesday, Outlast 2, okay? Wednesday, I'm going to do another Outlast 2 stream at 11 a.m., okay? Wednesday night, I will not be live streaming because, actually, I will be playing The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 4, which is releasing, I think, on Tuesday, actually, but I want to play Outlast all day Tuesday. Sorry, if you're a huge fan of The Walking Dead, I get it, but I mean, I'm so looking forward to Outlast. I really enjoyed Outlast 1. I didn't have a lot of expectations for it. I just heard it was made by people who had, like, teamed up from this style horror game before. And Outlast 1 ended up exceeding my expectations with how good it was. So I cannot wait for the sequel. That's why all day Tuesday is going to be Outlast 2. So Wednesday will be Outlast 2 on stream. And then I'll play episode 4 of The Walking Dead offline at night and upload that exclusively to DSP Gaming, which makes sense because it's primarily a narrative-based game anyway. I don't want pop-ups and things interfering or people trying to spoil, so that's perfect, and that'll be for Wednesday, okay? Thursday, up in the air. It all depends, because I don't know how long Outlast 2 is. You know, typically these survival horror games, they only push anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, typically. They're not very long. So if I've beaten it, okay, then I'll move on to something else. But if not, then Thursday it will be Outlast 2 on stream. Thursday night, I'm not sure yet, and here's why I say that. I know that I'm going to have to review Yooka-Laylee, right? People want to see a review for Yooka-Laylee. Is there massive demand for a review for Yooka-Laylee? No, but there is a group of people who wants to see it, and definitely since I played the whole game, I'll want to review it. But I know there is also strong demand for the return of Danganronpa. People have been eagerly awaiting all month of April. They've been like, man, we knew it was going to go on hold. Phil told us it was going to go on hold. You know, he played Persona 5, which is great because Persona 5 was another similar style, you know, Japanese culture type game, and people liked it. But now they want to see me go back to Danganronpa, especially because you remember the big cliffhanger I'm at in Chapter 5 of Danganronpa, where this big mystery opened up about what happened to Monokuma, and we thought that he was destroyed, and he came back, and all this stuff going on, and then there was a murder. We don't know who was actually murdered. We don't know whose body it is. So we're like right at the precipice of amazing stuff about to happen in Danganronpa, and I haven't been able to get back to it. So maybe on Thursday I'll go back to Danganronpa and do a session of that offline. I don't know. I'm kind of mulling it over in my head what I want to do, because I certainly want to review Yooka-Laylee, but I know there's so many people waiting for Danganronpa, okay? And then, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all going to be dependent on how far did I get in Outlast, all right? If I've beaten Outlast 2 by, say, Friday, then there's a new game coming out called Little Nightmares. Now, this is a game that's very much in the style of, say, remember Limbo from back in the day? Yeah, it's kind of a game like that, kind of a creepy atmosphere to it, and it seems like it could be a really interesting, unique playthrough, and I'm very interested in the game. But I don't want to promise I'm going to play it, only because if I do and then I get caught up and I'm still playing Outlast, or I'm doing, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that and then I don't live up to my promises. So if Outlast 2 ends up being beaten within a few days, great. I'm going to be playing Little Nightmares over the weekend. If it doesn't get wrapped up within the few days like I'd like it to, then I'm going to be playing that throughout the weekend to finish it up, okay? Sunday, so 1 week from today, all right, folks, 1 week from today is actually going to be my worst games ever marathon. This is a marathon that happened because we hit our February Patreon goal. I'll point to it again. So thanks to the February patrons who made this event possible, I'm going to be playing 3 games. Ride to Hell Retribution, oh brother. Revolution 60, or is it, I think it was Revolution 60 or 70. I don't know, I haven't even downloaded it on my PC yet. And more Scarface. I almost flipped you with the bird right there. I almost beat Scarface last summer. The bottom line is I stopped playing it because I got bored of it and I ran out of time to play it because other new releases came out. And people are like, dude, you were like 2 hours away from beating it, okay? So whatever, so we'll see. These are the 3 games that won the nominations and the voting. So I'm going to be playing each game probably roughly about 2 hours or so during this marathon event that I'll be doing a week from today right here on Twitch. And of course, I'll be recording the videos for YouTube as well, but you can watch it live right here on Twitch all day that day. So that's going to be an awesome event, all right? And then that Monday, May 1st, I'm off. Okay, that's my off day. I've got a ton of shit I got to do that day, including some of the interesting things I'm doing that day. Taking my current car, which the lease is ending. I got to take that into the dealership, local dealership out here to be inspected to see if they can find any issues with it, which they won't. There's nothing wrong with this car, not even a ding. Let me put it in some perspective how much we drive. I've had this car for 3 years. We've driven it not even 6,000 miles. We don't drive. When we do, everything's local. So I can't imagine they're going to find something wrong with the leased car that I'm turning in. Then we're going to be test driving cars in this area because we got to buy a new one. So that's going to be our whole day on May 1st is going to be car-centric. I know, it's crazy. So no streaming, no videos, probably nothing that day. But then I'll be back that next day with the Neo DLC is coming out on May 2nd. And then later that week, Prey is coming out. So I'm doing both of those. So it's going to be a full week of new content all over on my streaming channel, on DSP Gaming, everywhere. There's going to be new stuff all week that week, okay? Now, a few other things. This week, I may be doing a new kind of unboxing because I'm in a new partnership with OneUpBox. You might not know what that is because honestly, I didn't know what it was until I was contacted recently by the company. They are a company that are basically, they're trying to compete with Loot Crate. They saw that Loot Crate, has the market with these monthly subscription services, right? What OneUpBox strives to do is only focus on one kind of box, a gaming box, video game related stuff, okay? And every month they try to give you a box that basically is kind of like double the value of what you pay for it. And apparently every month there's a t-shirt similar to Loot Crate, and every month there's different little knickknacks and things that come in this subscription-based service. They contacted me and said, we'd like you to, we like what you did with Loot Crate, what you're doing with Loot Crate. We'd like to get in on that too if you'd like to do unboxings for us. I said, okay. So apparently this box is en route. They already apparently shipped it to me. So I might be getting it this week. If I get it this week, I'll be doing an unboxing of the very first ever One-Up box right here on the King of Hate Vlogs. So, very similar to Loot Crate. If you watch that video and you like it, there'll be a referral link. And if you end up getting a subscription through that referral link, I end up getting a little bit of a referral credit for that. So we'll see together. I've never done one of these boxes. I have no idea what's in them. We'll see together what kind of stuff comes in the One-Up box. All right, so that might be happening this week. There may be a new DSP Tries It this week. I don't want to promise you. I actually have something I want to film for DSP Tries It, but I was supposed to do it this past week, and I was so busy I completely forgot. And it was the weekend. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even think about putting time aside to do this. So it might end up being the same thing next week. I have no idea what's going to happen. All right, I don't want to say yes, I'm doing it, and then I don't end up doing it. But I might do a new DSP Tries It this week. We'll see. Okay. So really, there's going to be just think about the variety. New playthroughs of Outlast 2, The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 4, and possibly even Little Nightmares this week. We got the conclusion of Yooka-Laylee, my review of Persona 5 up to this point. I may review Yooka-Laylee this week if I have a chance. Danganronpa may return this week, which is pretty awesome. You may have new style vlogs this week, and then all at the end of this week, I'll be doing my marathon of the worst games ever, okay? Now, one final thing before we adjourn. The weekend preview next week. If you noticed, I said I'm doing my marathon on Sunday. Obviously, I can't do the weekend preview then because I'll be doing my marathon all day. What I think I may do on Saturday of this coming week is the second half of the day, separate that out, and that'll kind of be like my normal Sunday night. So I'll probably do like the weekend preview then, and any odds and ends or anything that I could finish up the offline. Maybe I'll work on my Yooka-Laylee review. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking is Saturday night will end up being the night when I do the weekend preview, so that way you at least have a weekend preview for that week, because, hey, having that Neo DLC, Prey, that's important stuff. That's going to be big stuff that week that people are going to want to see, and I want to be sure that everyone knows that, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing that week, okay? Oh yeah, there's one final update in regards to Teespring. So 1 week ago, I added a new shirt. If you didn't take a look yet, you should check it out. There's a new shirt called Rage Quit, and it's pretty cool. It's got like a hot pepper and salt shakers. I liked the logo. It's a pretty cool logo. And I added it there as a product. And there were other shirts. I wanted to add 3. Sadly, 2 of the designs didn't work, okay? They weren't working. I was trying to get them on a shirt. It didn't look right and whatever. But I was contacted by Teespring this week, and they were like, how you doing with your shop or whatever? And I'm like, well, I'll be honest here. I added a few new designs, but it's kind of stagnating, and it's hard because there's a few designs I want to add, and they're not working. So apparently they're working on them. I sent them to them, and apparently Teespring is working on these 2 other designs that they may be adding. I also believe that they're working on something. They said there was something like limited time or something that they wanted to get me involved in. But, so there may be some new things on Teespring shortly. Keep in mind, when you buy anything from my Teespring shop, that stuff goes directly to me, like, right away. It's really cool. It's like within a couple days, I get the profits from that, which helps tremendously, because right now, this is extra income for me during this really tough time when, as I've mentioned on my streams recently, this week and the first 2 weeks of May, things are the tightest financially I've ever had, because February was such a bad month on YouTube. My YouTube ad revenue, I'm not even kidding you, went from here to here. 50% decline in what I was making on YouTube in February. That's bad. And I really haven't gotten any extra funds or whatever to make up for it, besides your tips and stuff on streams and people buying from Teespring and people pledging to my Patreon, because those things I'm getting right now versus everything else. Like everything else on Twitch that I'm getting, the cheers, the subs, I don't see that income for 2 months. So right now, everyone who's cheering and subbing, thank you. I'll be happy in June when I can pay my bills, but right now, I'm kind of stuck with the February income, and I don't even know what's going to happen. So if you're going to buy anything from Teespring, if you're going to pledge to my Patreon, or if you're watching a stream, if you send me a tip, all that stuff helps me tremendously in the next 2 to 3 weeks to get through this tough time. Once I'm through that and I receive my first payment from Curse, since I've now partnered with them, I'm going to get that money supposedly the second week of May, and then I start getting my first increased Twitch payment and all that. I think things are going to be great, and I think hopefully I could, be good financially for the rest of the year as long as I can keep this momentum going. But right now, I'm so worried. So if you're interested, check it out, please. Do not delay. If you can get something from here, or if you can pledge to my Patreon in the next week, so it'll count for this month, or, tip me. That's the ways you can help definitively right now. And then once we get through this tough time, then whatever you choose, however, whether it's cheering or subbing or whatever, all that stuff will be fine. It'll all be equal good to me, okay? That's it for the weekend preview. Not a long one, right? I covered all the bases and everything I think is covered. So, thanks to everyone for your ongoing support. I hope to see you for all the new releases this week. I'm very excited to see how the streams turn out and how people like the very first survival horror game I'm going to be doing with the more interactive streams with pop-ups and everything. It's going to be pretty cool, I think, in my opinion. All right, without further ado, thank you to the following March patrons who actually have made another event possible. There's another upcoming event, and this is going to take place in the second half of May. Okay, when things start to slow down a little bit with game releases. In fact, it actually looks to me like the third week of May is going to be very slow because there's nothing. Now, I'll still be playing Injustice 2, but there's an event coming up. This is going to be Patrons Play With Me, okay? And they're going to be playing the Jackbox Party Pack that I've done 2 Twitch and Chill streams of, but sadly, because I did them as open events, lots of the same people kept getting in to the event, and there was a lot of people who wanted to participate, and they couldn't. There was no way to do it. Now, because I've done it through Patreon, these guys are going to be able to participate and play with me. And, folks, depending on how it goes, because I haven't checked the forums yet to see how many people want to be involved in this event that are patrons. if time permits, when this event happens, I may do fans or patrons versus haters. How cool would that be? We play Jackbox Party Pack, and we're doing games where half of the room are patrons and half of the room is open. You know the haters are going to end up fucking joining, and it could be head-to-head who ends up winning. That could be really sweet, I think. But we'll see how that goes. I got more information on that when we hit May and I start working on that. But anyway, thanks to the following March patrons. We hit the funding goal, and that event is going to be happening. Thanks a lot. Here's your thank you crawl. All right, that's it, everyone. Peace out. See you for the conclusion of Yooka-Laylee, for my Persona 5 review, in particular for Outlast 2 is kind of the highlight of my week, and for everything else that happens this week. Thanks for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you then.